All right, hello everybody. This is my Scribian. Thank you again for joining me. Quick live stream on social media, and I want to share some of the tips. And I want to talk about today what's going on in our financial markets. We all know there's a lot of crazy things are happening, and a lot recent news regarding some of the banks are getting shut down and this information and this news does worry a lot of people, and that's what I want to talk to you guys about. So stay tuned, I'll be right back. Okay, after that news breakdown, I did got a lot of phone calls. Some of them were from my friends and close family members, and a lot of them I got some calls from my clients, and people are always asking me, "Mice, what's going on?" I thought banks are safe, and but now we worry what's going on, and what do you recommend? And of course, I gave my opinion, and but one of the key elements that I was sharing with everybody, whether it was my clients or friends that were calling me regarding this topic. I always say, remember, every time I talk to people when it comes to finances, I always tell them diversification is the key. If you want to minimize your risks in your financial life, you got to understand diversification. You got to understand when you're investing your money, what are the risks, what are the guarantees, and that's why I always tell ask advice from professionals. In this case, if I'm the one who help you, let's sit down and let's maybe readjust and revisit some of your financial situations. And a lot of times I call my clients, at least I do like a once a year financial review. I call them, not everybody because I have so much database. I do my best to reach most of them. And those of you who are calling me, congratulations, because always once a year you got to follow up with your finances. But the recent appointments that I had, the main, like I said, the main worry that people have is losing their money. And I told them diversify your portfolio, including the money you have in a bank. Plus, I gave some other advice how they can invest more safe and guaranteed products. If you want to find out more, make an appointment with me. You go to mycaribbean.com or direct message me. I'll be happy to do that. But I want to give you a couple of points. Let's watch one of my commercials and then I'll be back. I'm going to keep this video very short and give you some tips what to do in today's market and not to panic, but prepare. That's the key. All right, thank you for staying with me. So, a couple of tips. One that I say is when you're investing your money, you got to understand there are type of financial products that will give you those guarantees. And if you want to know how it works, let's sit down and I'll show you detail by detail. So when I invest some of my money, I make sure that I diversify not only throughout the different industries and services, but also the amount of money that I play with. I've seen people, they take all their savings and they just put into stocks or some kind of crypto. By the way, I'm giving you my opinion only. Um, and then of course that's going to be risky, because if things goes wrong and stock market crashes, or that portfolio, that stock that you invested in, or that crypto you bought, if it crashes, it's going to take all your money. In some cases we've seen some companies shut down and people lose everything. That's why, you have to understand, it's all about, you got to ask yourself, let's say you have, $50,000. One of the first questions I always tell people is like, out of this 50,000, how much of it you need it in case emergency happens? So, let's say they said, you know what, at least 10,000. So I take not 10, even 15,000. I said, put it somewhere, maybe in your checking, and just keep it for rainy days. That's for emergencies. The rest of the money, there's a long-term investing strategy and short-term. I ask them how much of this money you don't need it next at least 10 years. So I advise them to put that money to a long-term products, and with maybe a little bit more aggressive performance. And the rest of the money, if they need it 5 years or even shorter, I show them how to invest that into different products that has guarantees, stable returns. So no matter what happens to the market, their money never loses, but it consistently grows. So the point that I have is, if you don't do strategies like this, because playing bigger financially and growing your finances in reality is like a game, it's like a chess. You gotta, understand the markets, you gotta understand those long-term, short-term thinking, secure and risky portfolios and investment types. And based on that, you play your money, and that's all, that's going to give you a better chance to grow it versus losing it. So last 2 weeks about, I got a lot of those calls. People are worried, and I've sat down some of them and I showed them what to do and what not to do based on my experience. I have over 20 years in the industry, and that helps me to give you better directions to the people and clients that I work with. If you're in a situation where you're lost yourself too and you're kind of confused and worried, let's sit down and talk. Well, one thing that I do, we call it financial checkup. I go over person's financial situation, current financial situation. Not only that, I figure out what kind of habits they have when it comes to making and spending money, because a lot of times people make bad choices because they have bad hobbies when it comes to dealing with money. And even if they end up making more money compared to last year and they double their income, but if they have bad habits, what's going to happen, it's always going to put you in a wrong financial situation. So to summarize today's video, if you have some money or you want to learn how to grow whatever you have, but you're kind of confused because you hear a lot of information from everywhere, from social media, from news, from friends and all that, that's okay. It's good to know what's going on around, but make sure you take advice from people who understand what they're doing. In this case, if I can assist you, because I've been in this industry for a long time, let's sit down. When I ask a couple of questions, it's easy for me to figure out where you stand and what are the wrong choices you've done that got you here. Maybe I can give you some more better direction, so next 1 year, next 5 year, or next 10 year, your finances grows bigger, stronger, and stable. So I hope some of these points will help you to make better financial decisions, and and just not panic when you hear news like what happened to the couple of banks recently. It's all about education and knowledge, guys. When you educate yourself and you get the right information from right sources, you make better decisions, and you don't have to worry. Matter of fact, a lot of times when things are going down, when the financial markets are down, it's also a great sign of opportunities. that for the right-minded people, they're gonna jump in and take the advantage of what's happening in the industry. Because when things are bad, guess what? Prices are going down, including real estate, right? It's a good time to jump in and invest, but you got to know what you're doing. That's why let's sit down and talk. This was Mike Krivian. Have a good one, and I'm gonna close the live stream with my book promotion video. If you haven't ordered this book, please do so. If you go Amazon, type Mike Krivian or Secret of Living is Giving, you can order this book. See you guys next time. Have a good one and take care. Bye bye.